all over have been waiting in lines just like these to get a glimpse of one of the most powerful men in the world.
Detroit loves the Pope!
As soon as you see this Pope, or any Pope by that, it's seeing Christ.
The Pope is the equivalent of the Beyonce of the Catholic religion.
Yes.
Roma Sterling and Chris Gavin from Syracuse have been planning this trip since April. They say it isn't just about seeing the Pope, it's about the aura surrounding the Pope.
We were staying at a camp that has no electricity. We've been sleeping out in a
cabin, an empty cabin with no lights, no facilities for the bathroom. You have to walk a half a mile to the bathroom.
But for these two women, the sacrifice is well worth it.
If we get to see him at all, it doesn't matter. It's the spiritual feelings that we're going to endeavor. It makes me more careful. It makes me realize that everybody, no matter what, is God's child.
In comparison to his predecessors, folks told me Pope Francis is more humble and inspires them to be better people. Reporting in Philadelphia, Alan Vickers, 47 ABC.
47 ABC's Alan Vickers was at the meeting and has more.
A huge disappointment because so many people have, contributed in different ways.
It would have been a first of its kind event in Dover, a family celebration on New Year's Eve at Legislative Mall and along Lockerman Street. The Youth Advisory Committee started organizing in June.
The problems that the city has been seeing over the past couple of years, it's just, we need something to do. We need an outlet. We need some type of event to bring everybody together.
Youth committee officials say planning was going well except for a major snag. They were missing a special events permit. And with the event just days away, some city council members say they were cutting it too close. In fact, they were well past the December 11th deadline.
It's not fair to any other organization, group that holds an event that we hold them to these timelines. So therefore, just out of common courtesy, the event should have been canceled, and it was.
By a 7-2 vote, the biggest concern for the council, public safety measures, including staffing, police, and fire personnel.
You have to account for the space that they'll take up. These were problems and issues that we simply don't know as a council. They weren't answered. Our city staff does not know the answer to these questions to this day, and we're 2 days before the event, and we still don't know the answers to these questions. Councilman
David Andrew heads the youth committee. He says they are trying to look on the bright side and towards next year.
Now, the elected officials, the city staff won't be working against it now, but with. We are moving forward, and the best is yet to come. So we set something in motion, and that's the victory.
Alan Vickers, 47 ABC. The Georgetown Town Hall was built in 1918. Officials say years of wear and tear have left the building in a terrible condition, and there's no time like the present to renovate the building.
If we don't do this now, the cost will certainly be greater, and I don't think the need will become any more less.
Between the rise of the economy and low interest rates, officials believe now is the time to make improvements before conditions like this get worse. Town manager Gene Dvornik took 47 ABC on a tour of the town hall, showing us warped walls and floor damage on all levels.
We've had some issues with mold. We've got some issues with structural items within the town, or within the building.
Officials say the building shows more damage every time it rains. The proposed plan introduced Wednesday is to move the administrative offices next door. The space would be then outfitted with state-of-the-art technology and used for weekly meetings. 47 ABC talked to employees of the building who have worked there for decades, who tell us they hope that this transition to create a safer work environment goes through. Georgetown Mayor William West believes a new building will also help the town stand out on the Eastern Shore.
By redoing these two buildings, we're sending the message that we're open for business and we're proud of the things we do for the people of Georgetown.
Alan Vickers, 47 ABC. From September until now, the Maryland Food Bank Eastern Shore served as many as 11,000 meals a day.
Well, you figure probably 1 million pounds of distribution divided by 2,000 is going to give you your tons.
So a lot of time.
A lot of time.
The bins and shelves at the Maryland Food Bank may be filled for now for the holidays, but Managing Director Jennifer Small says from January to March, statistics show the supplies start to thin out.
We see a decline in donations. I mean, we all know when we're in the spirit of giving, at the forefront is how are we going to help our neighbor? And hunger, of course, is one of those most basic necessities that everybody is trying to make sure that people have food on the table.
Small says in 2015 there was a 30% decrease in donations, whether that be food or money, and that hurts even the day-to-day operations of running the bank. Costs for building upkeep, volunteers, and even the packing boxes start to add up. For example, in order to collect the food from various places, the Maryland Food Bank uses a fleet of trucks traveling the Eastern Shore 5 to 6 days a week.
93% of every dollar that comes in here actually goes towards the purchase of food. The other 7% goes towards what it costs to actually procure the food so that we have food available. So a fleet of trucks that go out to retailers for donations.
With all these costs, the Maryland Food Bank needs your help to keep everyone full throughout the entire year.
We need you to hold food drives. We need you to raise dollars. We need you to volunteer your time so we can adequately sort through the food that does come in and put it out to the community safely and quickly.
Alan Vickers, 47 ABC.
47 ABC's Alan Vickers tells us how low gas prices are helping to make this a very Merry Christmas.
My son lives in Baltimore, and sometimes he asks me to meet him close to the bridge so he can come home for the holidays to cut back on gas.
Karen Smiley and her son will join the estimated 2.2 million Marylanders traveling during the holiday season, which officials say is a 1% increase from last year. This is reportedly the 7th consecutive year the state has seen growth. In fact, about 91% of travelers going 50 miles or more in Maryland will be on the road. AAA spokeswoman Christine DeLeese tells us a lot of that rides on the economy.
The increase in holiday travel is being driven by continued improvements in the labor market, rising incomes, and low gas prices that remain well below 2014 prices.
AAA also says the national average of the price of gas has dropped below the $2 per gallon for the first time since 2009. Jared Mead says the low prices have helped his family make the trip from the western part of Maryland to here on the Eastern Shore.
Being $1.80 up in Cumberland and $1.90 down here does give them more incentive to want to travel down this way.
Of course, with more people on the road, AAA says planning your trip ahead of time will be key. Most importantly, though, they recommend making sure your car is ready.
AAA Mid-Atlantic anticipates aiding more than 63,000 motorists across its territory, with over 16,000 of those motorists in Maryland. Primary reasons being dead batteries, lockouts, and flat tires. We also make sure that you plan ahead for your trip.
Alan Vickers, 47 ABC.